Heard on Thursdays with Nikki is about to go live online. Catch HOT, the iconic radio show that made Philippine FM radio talk, every Thursday on the Monster. Streaming video on the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, and twitch.tv/Monster RX931. You heard on Thursday's host, Nikki Porter. Stand by and enjoy the program.
Hey Monsters! Good evening. Welcome to the show that made Philippine FM radio talk, heard on Thursdays on Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1. I'm your host, Nikki Porter. Now, with the influx of self-help books and podcasts, even TikToks and YouTube channels, let's say even IG Reels, our generation is never short of motivational sources when it comes to living our best lives. Some even take it to the next level by hiring life coaches, like tonight's guest, global life coach Kimi Lu. Kimi is the OG when it comes to life coaching in the Philippines. See, she received her certification at the Bennett Stellar University in San Diego, California, and has been guiding growth seekers and heart-centered leaders through individual and corporate well-being programs and workshops since 2010. Her sessions are focused on self-discovery and self-healing and self-mastery. In 2020, she launched her certification program called Sacred Space Certification, a 10-week program designed to empower thought leaders, trailblazers, decision makers, consultants, trainers, and coaches in their desire to serve clients, teams, and community members with a heart-centered approach through her distinct mind, body, spirit framework. Her utmost desire is for you to be unapologetic about being the best version of yourself through the purposeful work that you do, and celebrate it. Because if you want to live your best life, you got to be your best self, right? And what a better way to start off this Valentines season, y'all. So heard on Thursdays, let's welcome back global life coach Kimi Lu. Hey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the love month, I guess. Hello, Nikki. I love that introduction. I'm going to save that as audio. I'm going to use it for my reels.
You should thank Hazel Hottie for writing that for you.
Oh, thank you, Hazel Hottie. Well, I've known her since forever, so
I love that.
Great. That's great. Thanks, Hazel Hottie. Thanks, Nikki.
Of course. Now, the last time you were here on Heard on Thursdays, it was JC's last episode back in November, I think, of 2021. So you've guested on the show multiple times, but it's my first time to have you on as the host of HOT. So I'm so excited. So since Q4 2021, how has life/work been for you?
Oh my gosh, a lot of transitions. A lot of adjustments because the world has opened up. So my sessions now are hybrid as well. So I have in-person sessions and I still have the online ones. So it's a lot of adjustment. I get tired because I live in Lipa. That's why I'm online right now. If I wasn't, I would be there in front of you, which I used to be. But yeah, that's life. A little tired, but happy.
So, but you've been busy then. So a lot of people have been wanting to join these workshops, seminars with you. A lot of people want to change their lives.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I've had several group like retreats and workshops.
Nice.
And a lot of one-on-ones as well. So there are different levels of wanting and desires, really.
All right. So you started in 2010. I believe your journey as a life coach began 2010. So back then, like it wasn't even a buzzword. It wasn't, front of mind, like, as a profession, life coaching. I'm talking about life coaching. So in terms of becoming one or even searching for one, how did you discover that term?
I think I saw it on TV. probably,
Okay.
in one of the morning shows on TV, and somebody was talking, and their name had life coach under it.
Hmm.
So I said, "Oh, okay." And I think they were in a house, and she was talking to the people in the house. Parang Big Brother, but
Hmm.
not all girls or something. So that stuck with me. So when I was actually lost myself, and
Mhm.
I said, "I need somebody to talk to. I think I need a life coach." I looked for one here in the Philippines, and I
Mhm.
couldn't find anyone. So I said, "Oh my gosh!" So I need somebody to talk to. I'm sure I'm not the only one who needs somebody to talk to.
Mhm.
So we need to find somebody. And there's no one, so I'll just be the one.
You
I
became
became one.
your support. You became your support when you were looking for help.
Right. Yeah. Because there was nobody.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So there were no life coaches at that time. That's why I actually, coined the term, I'm OG or pioneer life coach, because that's how I felt. Like there
Mm-mm.
was just really nobody at that
Yeah,
time.
of course. You found the pain point was that like there was a market for it, but nobody was doing it. So you
That's
found
right.
your opportunity and you took the chance. And look
Yes.
where you are now. It's amazing.
I know. It's really parang pikit mata. Even
Mm-hmm.
my parents, they just really trusted and believed that maybe they actually didn't believe in me, but they probably prayed so hard to
Mm-hmm.
na parang sana may future tong anak namin. Um, 'Di ba? Because they really just trusted and supported all the way through. And now, yes, we are here, and I've been doing it for 13 years already.
That's amazing. Now, before you actually became a life coach, when you first saw that sign of like the person's name under that was life coach, what was your understanding? First
Ah,
impression.
the thing is, my parents are actually marriage counselors.
Okay.
So I saw them talking to people already as a child. And so I knew that if there was somebody who I can talk to, they can help me. It's just that my parents helped married couples. So I didn't resonate with that so much. I wanted somebody who really helped with people's careers, maybe motivation, confidence, something like that. And then super awkward if it's my parents, right? Yung parang, oh my gosh, I'm gonna tell them my crying moments. I
Mhm.
didn't want to. So I really looked. But I knew that if you talk to someone somehow, then somebody can guide you and support you. So that's my thinking. That was my thinking.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then you mentioned that you decided to become one because you needed to talk to somebody at this moment in your life when you were struggling, let's say.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
where were you in your life? What was that pivot point that made you decide I'm going to be a life coach then?
Yeah, I was crying out of nowhere.
Oh
Like
no.
all of a sudden there are tears falling. I was just working, and then tears were falling. And I was bothered because I didn't have any feelings. Like I didn't feel like I was sad or that I was actually struggling. There were just tears. So also like looking back, now I realize, oh my gosh, my body is so intelligent that it showed me, okay, it told me by putting tears on my eyes to do something about it. So, at the middle of the night, I would always think about it. It bothered me. I would even feel my chest, like kind of hit my chest and try to
Mhm.
feel something, but I couldn't. I really felt lost, and my word wasn't even sad or depressed. My word for it was despair. I was in despair. Didn't know what I was supposed to feel. I just felt really lost. So I kept on searching, and yes, I found that course in San Diego, California. Took
Mhm.
it and went here and started practicing.
That is kind of like that was like a complete 180, I think, because you were such in a I guess it's a bit of a dark place because you didn't know what to do, how you were feeling, and then to
Yeah.
be able to be like, you know what, I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna be the person that I am looking for to help me.
Yeah. Yeah. I found myself by looking for somebody
Hmm.
to help me. Parang ganyan. Yeah. So I'm glad that, and I'm glad that it happened when I was also younger.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like
Um
it'd be much harder if you're older.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people who are lost
Yeah.
in their older age, but I myself am so happy that I discovered this job, this work early on, and I'm able to, learn more, grow more, and I'm able to serve people as well.
Yeah, and now you're helping people and sharing your
Sure.
story as well, which is fantastic. A lot of people need help. Sometimes you don't even admit it also, so that's very tough. Now, back when it wasn't very popular, you mentioned that your parents were very supportive of you, and maybe there were some prayers said also in hoping that you would be successful.
Yeah.
But what were the other reactions that you would usually get from people when you tell them you're a life coach, at least back then?
Oh my gosh, Nikki, you have no idea what I had to go through. Okay, there's several things. So number one would be I was super young then. I mean, that was 13 years ago, and I was 10 years old. Kunwari.
Okay.
And of course, people would be like, life coach. And then they'll look at me from head to toe and they'll say, how? Like, you're so young. How can you
Yeah.
teach me about life? So there's that misconception. And I guess it's a myth that a young person cannot help older people.
Mhm.
Next would be, again, I would have those looks. Actually, I would get blank stares. I'll say, oh, I'm a life coach. And they'll just look at me as if they didn't hear it because they didn't understand it at all.
Mhm.
Like, what's that? And I think it's weird to ask, but some ask and they'll say, how do you do that? Is it like for sports? Like a coach? Like, nope. So I go through these, difficult moments of really, I need to educate people. So that was my job, I guess, as pioneer. Like, I had to educate people that coaching is this way.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I had to go through that.
And so when people said that you're too young to be a life coach, what was the piece that they were missing though in order to better understand the purpose of life coaching? That it didn't matter that you were too young, quote unquote.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would explain to them that really my role is just to ask them the right questions. I didn't have the answers. They had the answers. It's their life.
Mhm.
So basically, I probe and ask questions that would help them come up with the answer for their lives.
Got you.
Yeah.
That makes sense
Oh,
because like,
yeah.
you feel like na because you are too young. So what do you know about them? Right? Some people just
Yeah.
need an extra direction. You want to be
Yeah.
the compass, I guess.
Yeah, so I explain it like I would tell them wala pang ways kasi nun. So I would talk about it as GPS. I am a human GPS. Okay? I will tell you, you will tell me where you want to go, and I will give you like options. Do you want it the short way or the long way? These are the options. And sometimes, as human beings, matigas ang ulo, sabi ko na ngang left, magra-right pa rin siya. So it's
True.
okay. Like the GPS does not have feelings and will say recalculating. So we will just recalculate and then yeah, redirect them into their goal talaga. So that's how I would explain what I do. I'm a human GPS basically.
Yeah, and you're someone I guess they can confide in terms of like their innermost desires about what they want in their life because because you won't be judging them. You're just gonna be asking the questions. So I think that's
Absolutely.
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am their like sacred space. I am their safe space because I don't really know them at all. And it's easier to share your deepest desires with somebody you don't know.
Hmm.
Actually, I have learned this.
For sure. Now, how did
Yeah.
you? So, with the comments that you got, or even the blank stares, how did that make you feel? But and what kept you going in spite of them?
Um, I don't know. I just knew that this job was for me. Like it was divinely appointed to me. And I have this belief of you choose your parents or your family where you're born into. And I really felt like I was born in this family with my parents practicing marriage counseling so that I could witness that and be in that environment and learn that at a very young age so that when do it, then it's also so much easier for me.
Mhm.
So this is like a different level of, I guess, knowing and understanding, but that's my belief. As if I was appointed to do this
Mm.
work. And I love it so much.
That's awesome. And so, just to be clear, especially for monsters who, maybe are contemplating to want to get into coaching, not necessarily life coaching. We're not trying to take business
Yeah.
from Kimi Lu.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
No, well, I was just wondering if what's this? You don't have to get your ish together, right? To become a life coach. That's not the point of it. It's just really asking questions, guiding you to whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah, and there are different tools, really. When I was starting, I was really helping a lot of people with different needs and wants, like with grief, with heartbrokenness, career change, their life in general, midlife crisis, all of these things. I was serving everybody because there were no other coaches who specialized in these things. Whereas when I was studying in the United States, they were saying there's a coach just for people who have knee pain. Can you imagine? So if you have knee pain, you just go to that certain coach. Okay. So now, since there's more coaches coming up
Yeah.
and they have their certain specialties, like there's specialty for people who have low attention span, coaches for heartbrokenness,
Mhm.
coaches for grief, coaches for healing, for energy, for light. I mean, sound healing. There's so many kinds now, which I am so happy about because more people get the help that they need.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I want to know though, and I feel like you're the right person to ask because you are the OG life coach here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
What is How do you differentiate coaching with therapy?
To be honest, I personally haven't been to therapy. So I am not familiar, but I do have clients who have been to therapy and who are still going through therapy even while they are taking sessions with me. So the difference would be coaching, they say, is more action driven. So
Mm.
I'm really, you know how a coach is in sports. So I guess there is a connection,
Yeah.
Coaching in sports is like, okay, you're really, I guess, strategizing with them, right? With the team. Okay, get this ball from here, la la la. So I think that's how they feel when they have sessions with me. It's really action driven, like, okay, what's my next step, and
Mhm.
then I help them with that. Whereas I think with therapy it's really more of talking, debriefing, and all that. That would be, I think, the main difference.
Mm.
It If that makes sense to you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. And I think also therapy really taps really deep within the recesses of your mind, talks about your childhood, I guess, and kind of like tries to navigate through that so that you can move past. I think that again, that's also my opinion of like how I understand it naman. So
Yes,
when
yeah. Yeah, I think the easiest term would be it coaching is more action driven.
okay. All right, there we go. So if you want action driven advice, like help,
Help,
guidance.
yes. Help. Yeah, guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
then coaching is a way to do it, or hiring a life coach is a way to do that. in your life. So now let's talk a little bit about the love months, no? For all the monsters who are tuned in, this is Heard on Thursdays with me, Nikki, and we're talking to Kimi Lu, life coach, as we now head into the conversations of the heart. Aren't ganon. Just kidding. So as we start the love months, many of us can get caught up in the Valentine's season and let it get under our skin, especially if you're single or even if you're in a relationship but it's not doing so well at this point in time.
Mhm.
Coach Kimi Lu, what is it that we have to remember most during this time kaya?
Ooh, I would say, I mean, I guess everybody, I mean, you see this online a lot that self love is really important. More than that, I guess also I want you to remember to also give that love to others.
Mhm.
Like, because sometimes they say, ay nako, napaka-ano naman yan, self-love, a little bit narcissistic already. So, okay, fine, to have a balance, then you also give love to others. And obviously, it's not just romantic love, even if my word for this year is romancing. That is my intention for the year. So, love and romance takes different forms as well. Like it could be with friends, it could be the mundane things in life as well. Like, oh, fresh flowers, it's romantic already. It's really a matter of perspective as well. So if you perceive to have a loving kind of day, then that's what you receive.
I love that. And I
Yes.
actually love that you mentioned that your word for this year, or I guess it's like your buzzword for this year, it's
Mm-hmm.
romancing. Because for me, by the end of last year, my mantra, so to speak, or kind of like my phrase for this year
Yeah.
is romanticize your life.
Ooh, okay.
Like, well, okay, I feel like we were appointed to have this episode.
What does yours mean? Like if you can answer that. If
Oh,
I
they're
can ask you.
like romanticize your life. So even if it's like by yourself, like, find joy with yourself, find things that make you happy. Post about whatever it is that you want. Like, don't care about what anybody else thinks. Do the things that you
Yeah.
want. You've been holding off on. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just kind of putting yourself first and, putting yourself in a position that you deserve to, pursue the things that you
Yeah.
want out of life.
I
That's
love
my
it. Can I, Nikki, can I read like a little quote here about romance?
Oh, I
Because
love
this
that.
is our word.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
the truth is love exists in so much more than a romantic partner. Love is everything around you. And I hope you learn how to open your eyes to that. I hope you find love in every aspect of your life. I hope you find it tucked into early morning sunrises and the smell of your favorite places. I hope you find it strung between the laughter you share with friends. I hope it bounces off of you when you hug the people you care for. I hope it swells within your rib cage whenever you hear your favorite song or discover something that moves you. I hope you fall in love with growth and change and the messiness and the beauty of making mistakes and becoming exactly who you want to be. I hope you find love in places that were once devoid of it, in places within yourself that you could have been softer to, kinder to in the past. Because if there is one thing I have learned, it is that love is so much more than a human being who holds your heart. Love is everything around you. It is everything.
Oh, I love that.
Mm,
This is really
super.
divine intervention. Coach Kimmy.
Well, I always say we are at the right place at the right time with the right people. And I can see in the comments there are a lot of Protons community members. So, hello to everybody and hi. Say hi to us if you're there. Please share the link to this live episode so that more people can hear what we're talking about.
All right. And I also I want to put focus on the term protons. Please explain. So this is your community.
Yes. So I
Swedish.
call the protons positively charged beings.
Ah,
So yes,
love it.
as
Nerdy. I love it.
nerdy. I'm a little bit. um, yeah. So and then I always use it for all of my posts because
Mhm.
that means that the post is positively charged. So whoever reads it or watches it will be positively charged as well.
Very cool. I love that thinking. It's
Mm,
awesome. Now, I
yes.
mean, at least now we can remember something from science classes.
Yes.
Diba? Don't forget about all the other parts of the atom, just
Just
photons.
the protons. Yes.
Awesome. And so, Filipinos, though, I will say, we love to self-deprecate though when it comes to love. Like it's really
No.
something that
Yeah.
we bank on, even if it's like there's always like a tinge of hugot, even in the simplest exchanges, yung mga sana all, yung mga ganon, goals. In your opinion, though, is hugot a good thing?
I guess feeling is a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like being able to feel things. I would like to be grateful for being able to feel that. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's beautiful to be able to feel that, but not sulk in it.
Mm, that's
So
right.
with anything, if you're feeling sad, go for it. Go feel sad. Listen to a really sad song, cry your heart out, and then do something about it after. So
Yeah.
I usually give myself, I know this is unpopular because they say, oh, take your time.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you take your time is already 1 year. Wait lang. Di yata okay yun na. So I really kind of give myself a time limit and I really pour my heart out. Like if I'm really sad, I'm really sad for like 1 whole week. And then after that, I'm like, okay, I've really felt that already. I'm done with that. I'm not going to give that free rent in my heart or in my mind. I'm letting that go and I'm moving forward because there's so much more beautiful things in the world.
Yeah, it's good to acknowledge and to validate the negative feelings that you have, but then don't linger too much on it. That
That's right.
it will just take over the rest of your life because it doesn't have to.
No, no, it's not helpful. Really, it's a waste of energy if it's too long.
Yeah.
So for a short while, okay lang. But if it's too much na parang, wait lang. Let's
So
live a little.
so when will you know when the right time is to okay get up again and just like go on with your life?
I think we don't know, but we're gonna need to try, right? Like for
Yes.
example, okay, 1 week, and then I'm gonna try to move on now. And
Mm-hmm.
then wait a minute, there's still like a tinge of like hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me give that 24 hours. And then I'm going to try again. So you're going to need to keep trying to move forward or else you're not going to get there at all.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, trying is the operative term for sure,
Yes.
and wanting to move past like negative feelings and just wanting to move forward with your life. Now, um,
Mhm.
now we're talking about self love here. In your own words, how would you define self love?
Ooh, self love. It's really being able to be yourself authentically, being able to be vulnerable as well. And I also love the part where because I love myself so much that I am myself, that other people around me are comfortable being themselves.
Mm,
Like when they meet me or when they're with me, I want them to feel comfortable. So for me, that is self love.
mm. Yeah, and I think it's something it'll radiate then, diba? And it'll attract people also eventually when you
Yeah.
exude that kind of self love for sure.
Yeah. Like I want to be allowed to make mistakes. I know like I'm a life coach, but I always remind people that hey, I'm human too. I'm superhuman. I get sad, I get angry, I have fears, I have doubts, and I think that allows people around me, like I give permission for people to be very human too.
Mm.
So I think that's self-love.
Now, uh how does self love then show up in our lives? How does that look like when we live out our lives and we want to appreciate ourselves. What are simple examples of that we might neglect actually in seeing that this is actually a form of self love, but we just don't like notice it. We don't appreciate it.
Oh, okay. I think very simple would be being able to say no.
Right.
Like boundaries, setting
Yeah.
boundaries. I think it's a huge thing. Especially with Filipinos, we're always like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm gonna try, and they'll really try to do it, or they'll really try to show up, but they really don't want to, but they're going to.
Mhm.
So being able to say no and allowing no to be a full sentence, not having to explain yourself, I think that's a form of self love because you're protecting your energy because you know that perhaps your energy isn't needed in that situation or you don't want to waste your time there. Those things. I think that would be number one for me that we don't realize is an act of self love,
Yeah,
right?
and I think that's something that's a lot of us need to practice. It's like what
Yes.
you mentioned in our culture. Yeah, it can
Yeah.
be very difficult to practice that.
Yeah, I think I used to be not very good with boundaries, but as I grew older, I was able to already say no. I am able to say no better.
Mm-mm.
And yeah,
And so, in terms of self love, currently the number one song that we have in our countdown top seven is, Miley Cyrus.
flowers, of course. Yeah.
It's all over social media. It's
Yeah.
just a fantastic song, actually. Now, for the monsters,
Yeah.
who don't know, it's kind of like a revenge song for of Miley Cyrus with her ex husband Liam Hemsworth because of the things that he allegedly did during the marriage, right? So there was a lot of
Uh-huh.
symbolism there, and
Yeah.
but it's such a bop. We all love
Yeah.
it. That's number one,
I love
right?
it. I love it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you know that I actually have a book called Master Dating. Okay.
Just to be clear, that's master dating.
Dating with a D, okay? And it's really like being able to buy yourself flowers, right?
Mhm,
Being able to watch movies by yourself, being able
mhm.
to go to the coffee shop, enjoy a cup of coffee by yourself, watch the sunset by yourself, really enjoying your own company. And this is really self love. And in terms of like the love or romance, I think you really just need to be complete first on your own before you jump into a relationship. We always hear this, right? And because we always hear this, there must be truth to it.
Mm-mm.
Right? Right? Na parang you have to be whole. You don't want to be in a relationship because you need someone to
Mhm.
complete you, right?
Yeah.
You need to be complete yourself. And this is also what I teach in my programs that you also need to operate from a place of overflow. Like, when the cup is half full or half empty, the
Mhm.
cup has to be overflowing and you give for only from your overflow, you always have to be full.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like hard work a little bit. Sounds a
Uh,
little
I'll,
hard.
yeah, I think so. Because you need to be very conscious about what you need,
Mhm.
right? Being very intentional also with the way you do things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but
And
you'll
so
be happy.
yeah, and so I like that you mentioned master dating. I have to say that slowly so we don't get in trouble. So you defined master dating as the art of bringing pleasure to yourself by yourself. So first of all, what inspired you to write this? It's not just a book; it's like a workbook, right? So
It is. It is. Yeah.
things like it's action driven, like what you mentioned before about
Yeah.
coaching. So what inspired you to write this?
I created this from a challenge that I created for the Protons community. So every February, for it was a leap year, 28 days, I gave them a challenge every day. And this was one of the challenges. You need to date yourself. And
Mm.
apparently, this was the most popular. They kept on tagging me and they used the hashtag master dating. So I said, oh, okay, this seems to be a popular one. So I did that for like 5 years. And one of my mentors said, Kimi, you need to create a book already. I said, but I'm not even a writer. What am I gonna talk about? And nga, diba, I'm young, so what will I talk about again? But I know that I have these activities and I have the material already. So I created Master Dating, and it has 29 activities for people to be intentional about celebrating their lives.
I love that. And it's
Hmm.
something that we really need to practice now because yun nga, sometimes we forget ourselves, sometimes we put ourselves last. Sometimes there are so many things that, that keep us from wanting to treat ourselves to something nice, to do something nice that we want to do, diba? So very
Yes.
relevant, very relevant
Hmm.
now.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't think it has to be expensive. There are things that are free, that helps us give self love to ourselves. Like, for
Mhm.
example, giving a hug to someone, that's absolutely for free. Like, why don't we just do more of that?
Mm.
Also, like watching the sunset or the sunrise, it's it's just
Yeah.
there every single day. It's there. We just need to, set aside some time and catch it, basically. So it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be like expensive spa, parlor, all of these things, or maybe staycation. I mean, those are amazing things, but also sometimes it can be the simple joys in life.
Absolutely. And so, since this is, love month, a lot of us, of course, have gone through hardships in terms of romantic love. Now, in relation to Flowers by Miley Cyrus, you go through a heartbreak or when one of your clients, let's say, get their heart broken, what does the process or like how would you explain or how would you guide them until you feel like yourself again? Well, it can be something that you would do on your own if you get your heart broken, or something that you would practice also with your clients, since you said that you have heartbroken clients who come to you too.
Yeah. I think whatever I practice what I preach, basically. So regularly, when a person comes and they say, "Oh, I got my heart broken," then I would my first line would really be, "Rest your heart first." That's my line. Rest your heart. It needs to rest for a while because it loved so much and then it got broken, right? So you need to let it rest. You need to let it heal and not to jump right into another relationship right away. So that's what I always say. Rest your heart first. And
Mhm.
then of course I give them some, I call it heart work. So it's really homework, some activities so that they can learn how to love themselves as well even more. I give some mirror work. I don't know if you've heard about that, like saying affirmations in front of a mirror. Um, yeah, journaling, a lot of journaling, meditation as well, joining different hobbies with other people. So there are different ways to heal. But that would be my first line. Rest your heart first.
It's your heart. That's a good way to start because it's also very gentle, diba? Especially when
Yeah,
people still feel, and that are still in that fragile state. That's such a very nice and gentle way of like comforting that person, not just like,
I
move
hope
on
so.
or anything. So,
Oh no, yeah, yeah. I don't think that would be good advice if I'll ask them to move on right away. There's a grieving process,
yes, of course.
especially if they're together for like 10 years or 5 years. That's a lot of years. You
Yeah.
practically like grew up together, right? So
Mhm.
it's like somebody died in your life. But they didn't die. But you know what I'm saying, like that's grieving. You're gonna need to grieve for a while. You're
Yeah.
gonna need to rest your heart. You're gonna need to heal from that, and then maybe you can start hanging out with others.
Yeah, that's very true. And so,
Mm.
yes, take your time, rest your heart. Very important to remember. Now, before we go on to more questions, off air, Coach Kimmy did actually show manifest oracle cards. I had no idea we were going to do this tonight. So why don't you explain with us, Coach Kimmy, how this goes?
Okay, so this is an oracle deck. What is an oracle deck? Basically, it's like quotes or words of affirmation, words of motivation, words of wisdom that we just pick out for you guys, and then hopefully you resonate with it. Whatever we pick out for you is the one for you, obviously. And this was co-created by the Sacred Space holders. So this is actually like we created this particular one. So we
Oh,
have our sacred space holders here, there, like that. Okay. So they have cards here, and they have different colors as well, which
mhm.
represents the different chakras, energy centers in our body. Are you familiar with chakras,
Yes. Are there
Nikki?
6 or 7 of
There are
them?
seven major chakras, yes, and they have different functions. So if you pull out, like for example, a green card, so this is like the heart chakra.
Hmm.
So that could also be related to maybe an imbalance or maybe something that you need to heal in your heart.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
got you. All right. So, for all the monsters who are tuned in right now, if you want to call in, just to clarify, Coach Kimmy, all you
Yeah.
have to do is they just want to know if the universe sort of like has a message for them.
Yeah, just a simple message. It's like a fortune cookie.
It's a fortune. Okay, monsters. If you want fortune, no, not fortune per
Not
se, but
fortune.
if you want to hear a message
Motivation.
you need to hear today, call us up at 8631-9393, 8631-9393, or through the Monster text line or through the comments section from Facebook, Twitch, and on YouTube. Go ahead and tell me if you guys want to do a message from the universe.
If we would pull out a card for you guys. What
Reading.
about you, Nikki? Do you want me to pull out a card for you?
I'll go first. I usually go last. But anyway,
Ay,
sige.
ganon. Opo
Well,
ka naman.
sige, if it's a specific question, ay hindi, it's no specific question. It's just a
Okay, usually, like, if it's like a full reading, so usually I just pull out one. But
Mhm.
maybe for you, we'll pull out three.
Oh,
So, yeah, the first one will be your message for today. The
okay.
second one will be message for clarity. Like, we
Oh,
have no idea what needs clarity, but when we read it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that needs clarity. And then the third will be for your future.
okay. Wow, these are now I'm scared. Not
No,
getting
it's super loving and caring and positive. So no
okay.
need to be scared.
Okay, but before we go into that, 8631-9393, if you are interested, monsters, to get an oracle reading from the manifest deck of Coach Kimmy. Okay?
Ooh.
So without further ado, okay, actually we have a few people. There we go. I can go last now. It's okay. No problem.
Biglang kinabahan.
Break muna ako.
Sige.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
go with Nami. Nami said she wants a message tonight.
Yeah. I know Nami. Nami is my flow rope coach. Are you familiar with flow rope?
No, it's the
Like,
first time hearing of it.
yeah, you don't, the flow rope, you don't need to jump.
Huh?
You just, yeah, it's like a jump rope, but you don't need to jump. You just use your arms and your body, ganyan. So she's
Oh,
my flow rope coach. So Nami, this one is for you. Ta-da! Okay, it says here, supercharge your manifestation by acting as if you already have what you want.
oh,
Put your faith into action by setting the stage for what's to come. Use this time to prepare your heart, soul, and environment to receive. So act as if you already have it. So how does, like for example, if you want to be successful, how does a successful person act like or speak like, even the tone of their voice?
hmm.
So become it already. So that's for
Okay,
you,
go,
Nani.
Nami. Act like you already have it. You've already received it. What you
Yes, that's right.
manifest. There we go. Up next, we have
Mhm.
Reese. Reese.
Okay, for Reese. Reese is this one. Okay, so this is the red chakra. So this is for grounding. Stop waiting for somebody to elevate your game. You are
Oh.
already equipped with everything you need to manifest your own greatness.
Mm.
The wait is over. You have the ability to bring to life what you want. Unleash your inner power and use it to fuel your vision for the future.
There we
So,
go.
yeah, Reese is like, I know Reese, and she's a country manager. So, she's already equipped. Perhaps she is doubting. She has a little doubt, like, oh, can I really do this? But you're doing it already. You're in that position for a reason. You are equipped.
Love that.
Okay.
All right. Up
Yep.
next, we have Chinky.
Okay, Chinky. Chinky's turn. Here. Nag-OMG na siya. Okay. Chinky, it's coming! Chinky, it's coming! So you have two things to do. Practice feeling good and then watch for the evidence. That's it. You draw your desires closer every time you think and feel positive about them. Create space in your mind and heart where good things can flourish. Choose what's life giving. So you just need to practice feeling good and then watch for the evidence. That's
Hmm.
it. So
I
easy.
love I love
Yeah, I love it too.
And then up next, kaya pa, Coach Kimmy. Let's go.
Kaya, go.
Up
Yeah.
next, we have Joe. Joe, what is the message for you this week?
Joe. Joe, this is for you, Joe. Oh, it's a green card. It says here, affirm. I am divine, magnificent expression of life, and I deserve the very best. I accept this for myself now. I accept miracles. I accept healing. I accept wholeness. And most of all, I accept myself. You deserve the dream that has been planted in your heart. Do not doubt it because it is direct guidance from a divine source. Allow your heart to lead the way. So
Hmm.
follow your heart.
Gosh, like
Yeah.
that is an affirmation.
It is absolutely an absolute affirmation.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Okay.
who
And
else?
we have Kath. Kath would also like.
Kat Villian.
Yep.
Okay, Kat, this one's yours. Mga gising pa yung mga ano. So, oh, you got my, so I have my own card here. It says, you are at the right place at the right time with the right people. You might not see it yet, but just take this to heart and remember this day. When you look back, you'll know that what I'm talking about. Look at the people in your life right now and say a little thank you to them. So, Kath, you're at the right place at the right time with the right people.
I love it. So there's
Yes,
like a hint of gratitude in there also to be grateful for who you are. That's awesome.
yes. Oh, I
And
love gratitude.
right? Something we all need to practice for sure. Now, also Jocelyn. Jocelyn wants a message. Let's go.
Jocelyn. Okay, Jocelyn, let's go. This is for you. Jocelyn, allow your desires to come to you by believing that the universe is always working on your in your favor,
Mm,
and all your most heartfelt desires will find their way to you. There's a time and place for everything, so don't force what's not yet supposed to fit into your life. What's for you won't miss you. Yan. O mamadali.
I love that.
Yes.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
And then we also have one from the Monster text line. We have Rai also requesting for a message from the deck.
Sure. Right. Okay, this one's for you, right? Okay. So we receive exactly what we see. See yourself living in abundance and you will attract it. So you deserve a life that truly sparks joy. Invite abundance into yourself by creating the environment that allows for it to come to you. Fill your home or workspace with things that are valuable and inspiring, and you'll experience more of it. Wow, right? Abundance.
I love that.
Oh,
You
yes,
deserve it, Rai. You deserve it. All right.
absolutely.
Okay, so for now, we
Your
do
turn.
my turn na. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh, your turn.
The joke
Siguro.
lang.
Ayaw na. Ay, wala nang time.
I'm actually no, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go for it. Let's go for it. What is my
Okay,
message?
so three cards for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so the first one will be like in general, right?
Okay.
Okay, so this one's for you, Nikki. If you turn it over to the universe, you will be surprised and dazzled by what is delivered to you. This is where magic and miracles happen. This is an invitation for you to unclench your hands and keep them open to the miracles that the universe has already planned out for you. Surrender.
Surrender.
Surrender. Oo. Make pigil your gigil.
I love that. May giggle or giggle.
Yeah. Okay. And then next would be for clarity.
Okay.
So you will be the one to know what it's for. You'll
Okay.
know. You'll just know.
All
Hmm.
right.
Okay. So this one, Nikki, the
Mm-hmm.
more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. If you find yourself worrying about how things will unfold, then practice presencing. Simply go back to a place of curiosity and wonder so you can witness all of life's little miracles.
Okay.
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 I'm saving these so I can take a photo and I'll send it to you later.
Yay! I love
Yeah.
that.
And then this one is for the future.
Okay. What does my future
Okay.
say?
What this is for your future. When you give thanks as though you have already received what you want, you are emitting a powerful signal to the universe. Verbalize your gratitude for all the things that are on the way to you and let its vibration sink deep into your body. Allow yourself to receive fully and completely starting right now.
Wow.
Wow.
These are all very deep and they're hitting hard. So thank you. I'm not joking. Thank you. I am
Pinagpapawisan. Kamusta ang kilikili?
yeah. Buti nga long sleeves ako. I love that. Well, thank you so
Yes,
much for
you're
like
welcome.
the cards. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Also, we have Joy who wants to hear a reading, if that's all right.
Yeah. Sure, Joy Salvador. I don't know Joy, so hello, Joy. Nice
There we
to meet
go.
you here. This is yours, Joy, and it's blue. Affirm. I live in the paradise of my own creation. Paradise is something you carry within you and you create it when you live authentically. Make a choice that's deeply truthful today.
By
And that's
today, meaning Friday. Kasi 12:05 na siya.
Friday na.
Friday
Buong
na.
Friday. Yeah. So those
Oh,
are the cards. They're very loving and
yeah.
caring. So no
Yeah.
need to be scared.
That's awesome. Thank you so much
Uh-uh.
for taking the time to give us our messages for today, well, for my future and whatever clarity in my life that I
Mhm.
need also. So thank you very much for that. Now, let's talk a little bit about what you do as a life coach though. So in our areas in areas in our jobs or in situations in our lives, how can we build the courage to take up space?
Ooh, you're gonna need to consistently show up. Like, even if you're not confident, by showing up, then you'll build that confidence and you'll also build the courage to keep showing up. So you're gonna need to try even like the littlest ways of taking space. Um, like it could be as simple as one IG story a day,
Mhm.
or maybe also sending a good morning message to your friends. Just making sure that you're doing something and not being frozen and stuck. So you're gonna need to have the steps, like even baby steps. They always say that, right? Baby steps. It's okay.
Yeah. And then in terms of our dreams, no. We all have dreams. But only like a small percentage of us actually pursue it and achieve it and live it. So, what do dreams represent? What do they say about someone, in your
Oh
opinion, as
my
a life
gosh,
coach?
difficult question,
I
What
was
what does what does a dream? um, I guess it is about. It would depend on how much you want it, right? It will show. Like if you really want it, you're going to do everything to pursue it or to have it.
Mhm,
It will also depend on your why, your purpose for
mhm,
it. If the purpose is, I guess, very meaningful and purposeful,
mhm,
then you'll try your best to make it work.
mm,
um I will just give myself as an example. Like I started with no mentor, no person to look up to, but
mhm,
I felt that the vision was so strong and the purpose was so strong. I really want to help more people. But if I stopped doing it, then there won't be someone they can talk to. So it was so like, I guess it was so needed that I had to do it, and I had to do everything that I could to keep pursuing it.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, so I think it's really what it boils down to is like, how badly do you want it? How hard you want to work hard
Yeah.
to achieve it? So,
Yeah, like you can't quit, right?
mhm,
Um Even if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm failing, or maybe this isn't meant for me, but if you don't try hard enough, then you really wouldn't know if it's
mhm.
for you or not.
Yeah, for sure. And so,
Mhm.
so many of us who have big dreams or are in denial of having them because we don't know if it's possible for us to achieve. How do you help empower your clients to pursue them?
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to tell you, I have this container, which I call a playground. It's called Manifest 111.
Mm,
And we are all together in like one Instagram account. And we try to manifest a lot of things in 111 days. And the beauty about this is that everybody who are in that space are fearless with their dreams, or they become fearless with their dreams because nga in that playground there's no judgment. And because it's called playground, it's as if they're just playing, like no pressure. But people have manifested so many things already, and beyond their wildest dreams. Yung parang they thought it was already crazy to have that dream, but there's something more pa that were happening in their lives.
mhm,
So because of that kind of environment, because they're all together, there's also this thing called collective energy. Parang nagkakahawaan sila.
mm,
So it's nice to put yourself in those spaces where your dreams are accepted and are welcome and are cheered for.
mhm.
Because sometimes your friends or your family will be like, "Ay nako, she's crazy," or how can you do that? I don't think you can." But in this playground, anything is possible.
I love that. So how can people be a part of that playground?
They can be a part of it. I had one round last year, and out of the 111 days, there were like 888 plus manifestations that happened in
Wow.
their lives. Yeah. So
Amazing.
this year, and then everybody who joined are now part of a book, which is called Manifest Stories. So we have volume one, and we're launching that very soon. This year, we're welcoming another round of magic makers. And I have an open house or orientation day happening on Feb 11. So everyone's welcome. That's absolutely for free. But of course, if they say yes to the playground, then there is a fee to join.
Mhm.
And that will be for 111 days. And they can automatically be part of the second book.
I love that. And so for anybody, I guess, who wants to manifest something, sooner
Mm-hmm.
than later because it's not in 111 days. Very specific. I
Yes, yes, yeah.
feel like that would be ideal for you guys for sure.
Yeah, it's fun. And people are still manifesting beyond the 111 days.
Mm, that's good. And I love that
Mhm.
there's a continuity to it, like beyond like the playground. I guess because it's like you manifested it, it's kind of like becomes what do you call this? It's just something that you just want to keep trying to manifest again and again and just like
Yeah. I
channel
mean,
it.
because you've done it na, then you can do it over and over again. So it's really just a playground for you to practice. It's like,
Okay.
being in a playground and playing basketball. You shoot the ball and then you're like, "Oh, I can shoot it pala." So I'll keep shooting it. I'll keep
Mm,
trying to shoot it. So that's I guess the thought behind it.
yeah, keep shooting your shot. It's manifest.
Yes.
There we go. Perfect. Now before we leave, we are about to end the show in just a little bit. Let's if you don't mind me asking to pull the manifest card again, but then let's try and because I have a question here that it's supposed
Huh?
to ask like what would your love letter be to this particular person? So let's say if there's a monster out there, a 30
Mhm.
something, 20 something who feels stuck and doesn't know what they want to do in life. They know there's something better for them out there, but they don't know where to begin. What is the universe's love letter for them this evening?
Ooh, okay. So, I'm gonna pull out from this deck, but I
Mhm.
have another deck here that's really a love letter.
Oh,
Okay, so we'll have
what
two.
is happening tonight? There's like,
So here, there's another deck here, but it's
love
love
that.
letter talaga.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so I'll pull out from the deck first. Let's see this one. A higher timeline and reality is waiting for you. Tanga naman, nasagot naman siya. Are
Yeah.
you ready to receive it now? Welcome the idea that there are limitless possibilities and that life wants to offer them all to you. You only need to say yes.
I love that. That is to
Okay?
any monster who feels stuck. Okay, now the love letter.
Yes. Now the love letter to that person, okay,
Mhm,
who feels stuck. Is that right?
mhm. Yeah, who
Okay.
feels stuck.
So, dearest monster, we bet you must be exhausted some days. Giving as much as you do, sharing your energy so beautifully in service to the highest good, can leave you feeling depleted, like an empty well. If it feels as if there's no more water for you, the good news is we have a plan. Today, go take a relaxing bath, book a massage, read a novel, buy yourself flowers, or plant some in your garden. Make time for your self care, not more work on yourself. By tending to yourself now, you are reminded to do so more often. And be sure to use a word that might have caused you anxiety in the past, but is essential for your well being now. No. Say it with us. No, thank you.
No,
No,
thank
I can't. You do
you.
not have to explain. Just say no gently but firmly. Then go for a soak. Life will wait for you to bring yourself back to center, replenished and ready for more adventure. We love you so very much.
I love how that worked out so well.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, it just summarized everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh my gosh. I love this
Yeah,
episode. So many
it's
weird things
crazy.
have
These cards are crazy. I mean, in a very good way.
happened. Yeah, for sure. It was just this episode was positively charged. You know what
Yes,
I
absolutely.
mean?
Yeah.
My
I'm
gosh.
glad you enjoyed that and received that. So everybody who's watching, I hope you received what you needed for tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Coach Kimmy, for joining us this evening. So many people, you made a lot of people happy in terms of their messages to the universe and also how to treat yourself better, how to express self love, especially during the love month as well. Thank you so much for sharing your insight as the OG life coach in the Philippines.
Oh my gosh, I feel old. Yata. Wag naman sana.
Hindi
Sige.
naman. God. Now, any last minute greets or requests? Not requests pala, di pala songs. Any last minute greets there for the monsters and for the protons who are tuned in?
Last like message for everyone. Is that
Yeah.
right? Did I get
Mhm.
that right?
Yeah.
I just want to invite you. I see this online a lot, the lucky girl syndrome. It can
Yeah.
be a lucky guy syndrome, right?
Right.
And I actually just created a reel. I haven't posted it, but
Mhm.
I said just allow, if you allow and expect, if you expect miracles and magic in your life, then you will be lucky.
Mm.
So this is a sign that you have lucky girl or lucky guy syndrome when you expect miracles to unfold in your life. So I am giving everybody permission to expect miracles in their life. Some people kasi get guilty, right?
Yeah.
So parang, I'm gonna ask pa for more. And it's ano na nga, I'm contented na, I'm fulfilled na, this is enough na. Others may want pa more. But you know what? You can have more. There's an abundance all around you.
And it can be also for people who feel like who are questioning if they deserve it pa, 'di ba?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You.
So,
So you are so deserving. You are so worthy. I believe in you. So I hope you believe in you too.
I love that. What a nice way to end this episode of Heard on Thursdays. Thank you so much, Coach Kimmy, for joining me this evening for Heard on Thursdays. I hope that those who were tuned in this evening have taken away a few things also from what we've talked about. So catch me again next week for another episode this love month. We don't know what we'll talk about yet, but it'll be exciting. So for now, though, keep it locked only here on the Monster. Bye bye.